with his thoughts on this and much more is Michigan Congressman Pete Hoekstra, the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
I know you've watched portions of this Joe Biden interview in which he says that former Vice President Dick Cheney is rewriting history, and in fact this administration, the Obama administration, has had just as much, if not more, success against al-Qaeda. Your thoughts?
Well, Allison, what's happening here is this is all about leadership. This administration continues to be in a perpetual campaign, while at the same time they've got real structural problems in their national security team. The president is going to have to make changes in his national security team. If you take a look at John Brennan, Dennis Blair, Secretary Napolitano, and Eric Holder, what you're seeing is a team that's not working together, and in certain cases, there's just been glaring incompetency.
And other than Janet Napolitano saying that the Abdul-Muttalib thing went just perfectly, went great, there were no problems, what else have you seen that you think are glaring errors?
Well, you've got the president in the last couple of days, clearly questioning his attorney general's judgment on moving the KSM trial from Gitmo to New York City, where he's now saying, I'm going to personally get involved with that. It's like, wow. That's not a vote of confidence in your attorney general. You also have, the mass confusion about who talked to who on the national security team about whether the Christmas Day bomber should or should not have been Mirandized. There are all kinds of these questions. The whole strategy of moving the Gitmo detainees to the United States is unraveling.
And speaking of the Christmas Day bomber and whether or not he should be Mirandized, I want to get your reaction to something that John Brennan, one of the heads of the National Security Team, said on Meet the Press last week. And it's about you, so I want to hear directly from you. He said that he called you that night that Abdul-Muttalib was arrested. And he told you that Abdul-Muttalib, the Christmas Day underwear bomber, was in FBI custody. And that you were fine with it. You never raised any issue about concerns of him being Mirandized or getting any sorts of rights. Is that accurate?
Well, it's accurate that I talked to John Brennan briefly on Christmas night. He gave a brief description of exactly what happened on the airplane, that this person had been taken into custody and that he was being questioned. John Brennan never brought up about how we were going to be moving forward and those types of things. The administration itself has said that, we were going to have a high-value interrogation team, that this team would make decisions as to how we would deal with these types of instances in the United States, whether they would be Mirandized, whether they would go into civilian court, or whether they would go into a military tribunal. He never brought that up, and this is, I think, again, one of these reasons. You've got people like Denny Blair, who's wanting to reach out and have a very constructive relationship with Congress, and then you've got John Brennan, who for the last week appears to want to have a fight with Congress. The president needs to set his direction. Does he want cooperation, or does he want national security to become a partisan issue?
But John Brennan says that by telling you that Abdul-Muttalib was in FBI custody, that implies that he would be Mirandized and that you never raised any concerns.
Well, that's what he says he implies. The high-value interrogation team is going to be led by the FBI. And the FBI, at its discretion, would decide whether individuals would be Mirandized or not. You'll also see that what happened on Christmas Day, the FBI, for the first hour of questioning, decided that they were not going to Mirandize the Christmas Day bomber. Only, a significant amount of time later did they decide that they were going to Mirandize this. So even the FBI and the president's own national security team, although the only people that appeared to be involved in this decision were the Justice Department and the FBI, they didn't exactly know what direction they were going to move in. So for John Brennan to say, Pete, you should have known, that's crazy.
Well, given all of that, Congressman, what do you think happens the next time? The next Abdul-Muttalib out there, the next time there is a terrorist captured, given all of the confusion with this, what happens?
Well, I don't know. This is why I think the president needs to get his team singing off the same page, working off the same playbook. If they continue to look at this as terrorism, as a law enforcement issue, what will happen is the next person will be Mirandized, just like the Christmas Day bomber. If they start recognizing this as a war, we'll take a different direction.
Congressman Pete Hoekstra, thanks so much for coming on and having this conversation
Great, thank you.
this morning. All right, meanwhile.